Last week we talked about line work and drawing the figure, and today we're going to talk about color. As you can see, I added my picture here from last week, and today we're going to color it. Usually when I'm coloring, I like to have my references handy so that I can reference them for color. I mostly pick out those for, I guess it's for her hair and stuff. Typically in the past I've had a little coyote here be in a red or in a pink with a red skirt or something like that, but today we're just going to play with that and see what goes well with it as I go along. Usually when I'm drawing, to avoid coloring outside the lines, I like to select all of my exterior of the drawing. Kind of zoom in. I'm holding down shift as I'm selecting multiple things with the magic tool. Oh, I messed up the inks down there. Well, we'll see how that happens. Or see if that affects anything. I'm not seeing any sign that things are selected. So let me just check to see if I'm on the right layer. Not that in layer. This one. No, I'm on the... Okay, so yeah, first I select the ink layer. Yeah, I could see the little speedy lines around my thing, so I know it's working for sure this time. Yeah, looks like that line is still working despite my mess up there. Okay, have I selected this area in? Okay, yeah. I'm holding down shift and I'm using the magic wand tool to select all of the stuff on the outside. And then I'm going to Control Shift I, which will inverse everything. So when I start coloring, as I will demonstrate here, it stays in the lines, but not outside. But right now I'm on the ink layer, so as you can see, as I'm coloring things, I'm kind of messing up the ink. It's not going below it. So what I want to do is I'm going to go down to the color layer that I already set up, and I'm going to select a main color will be affecting my drawing, and just give myself, I'm color selecting Elsie's base coat here, her undercoat, because that's going to be the color that it's going to mostly be in the background here. And then I will go in with her overcoat, and that I will be a little bit more gentle with. If I want nicer lines or something, I will just kind of come in with my pen tool and color in physically. But honestly, you know what, I want to answer Elsie a reference for this, so I'm just going to go ahead and open one really quickly, see if I can find one. I don't want to do the one up high there because it's an old, very old reference. Oh, the June Bride one is probably good. Not a lot covering her there. So yeah, that one I did very line work, but you can kind of see the lines on the animal version kind of still go around the lines on the human version. But that one I filled in with a lot of things because it was going to be animated. But this picture I'm going to fill in with a little bit more detail and funness. Yes. Okay, so right now I'm using the continuous curve tool to kind of fill in big blocks. The things I don't need to go in and add details in very quickly. It's just my way of speed coloring, you could say, and just kind of work around the drawings. And I can always come in if I make little mistakes. But actually, I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put in her hair, because not the bangs because they go over her face, but I'm just going to pop in the hair color here because then I don't have to be careful around her ear there. And then when I come back over, first I'm going to fix that with a pen tool because I'm messed up because I'm compulsive like that. But yeah, when I come in with the continuous curve tool, I could just go over the lines I did. So I'm kind of layering things on as I'm putting them on without fully committing to the layer, with actual layer things. So like now that I've filled in the layer, I can go in and fill in her little earsies here. And earsies here. And right, and I see I've made a little mistake right here in the fill, so I'll just come in with that same color. I always hold down Alt to sample the color I want and then select it, and I'll usually bring it up for me. Whoop, accidentally color sampled the black line. But yeah, okay. So her upper face, maybe I should have just done the whole color there with the, no, we need to worry about that now. So I'm just gonna put in her upper coat here. Now, I probably could have done this all in one layer if I had thought about doing ears downward, but that was my bad. And I may come in to add little hair like flickers later, but for right now I'm just filling in the main shapes. So that gets it a little bit more of the kind of eye mask thing that I have for little coyote here. And then for her nose, like usually I have it be all black, but since the lines themselves are black, I'll probably do a kind of version of gray. Similar to what's on her nose here, but I'll go darker. Like maybe the nose will be the top of the nose will be that gray because the lightest color on the top is where usually you'll get the light, or the sunlight's coming is where you usually get the light, which is obvious. But then I will color sample it for slightly darker, not so dark that I can't see the black lines, dark enough that it kind of still reads as a nose. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. But actually what I'm going to do, and if I wasn't fully selected on her body, I would just select it with a magic wand. But I think what I'm going to do is actually do an even darker gray, because that still doesn't seem light enough. That still doesn't seem dark enough to me. Yeah, you can still see the lines, but it reads more as a black nose, even though it isn't really black. I hope that makes sense. The lighter shape on top gives it a little bit more dimension. Okay, I'm not going to do her bangs right away because it's coming across the top of her kimono, and I want to give a little bit more thought to that. Usually on Little Coyote, the upper coat usually just goes around her shoulders, which you can kind of see from this little bride drawing I did a while back. But I might extend it down a little bit just to give a little bit more visual interest. Wide. Yeah, I think I like that. I might make it smaller yet, but let's see what this looks like first. I know these lines here are all very straight, which is unnatural in fur. So I'm kind of going back and making it a little bit more curvy for now. I will likely adjust that later. And now I'm going to come back so this one is facing slightly upwards. So the top of the arm from this side, it looks like it's going to be more filled than usual. But I should say the coloring would actually extend a little bit more on the other side of her line, but since this is another shape going in the opposite direction, it will get cut off right there, rather than fully going down like it did on her other arm. And I don't think I did much down here, but yeah, you can kind of see it goes over the top of her hips in both the antler drawing and the animal drawing. So I will go ahead and just kind of like block out the shapes again. And you'll notice I allowed it to go a little bit over the skirt. That's just because I'm going to be coloring in the skirt later. So it's not as important for me that it goes like that. But yeah, if this were a drawing from profile, I think this would probably be covering the whole side of her legs, but since it's from the front, we don't see it. The front view here, you could see that the side of her thing is here, but since her tail is like not going straight down, but is a little to the side, I'll allow some of the upper coat to show up over here. Not a lot, mind you, but just enough. And I'm kind of whisking out the lines as I color it in with my pen to kind of give it that furry look, which I probably should have done with the arms, but I was rushing a little bit, I admit. But yeah, do I like that I covered that one? No, I do not like that. Okay. And I'll do a few more flicks down here. Just flicking with my wrist. Oop. All right, so the top of her tail shows, and it looks very furry. Okay, now let's do her face. So I'm going to go ahead and color in her eyebrows, the same color as her hair, because usually that's how hair goes, unless you're a blonde, because sometimes blondes have way darker eyebrows than they do have mane hair. Yeah. Okay. So for her eyes, first I will put in the white. Super simple. Just pop in the major shape. Once again, using the continuous curve tool. And a lot of the time I don't bother to make curves, but sometimes I do. It just gives me a little bit of flexibility, which I like. If I'm feeling lazy, I'll use the continuous curve for filling in the eyes too. But right now I'm going to try to see if I can match it with a polygraph tool. It doesn't always line up very well unless you're like got a very good eye for this kind of thing. And I think that'll work. Yeah, that's good. All right, yeah, as you can see, I'm having trouble lining it up with to make it exactly the same. And sometimes I'll just keep doing it again and again until I get it to work. But this time, as you can see, I just went in and I filled the color in. So let's just go ahead and color in her mouth, I guess. So I'm going to do the inside of her mouth first. First, I'm going to do the very, very inside of her mouth, which will be a darker red than her tongue, and just make the size of my pen tool bigger and pop it in. Actually, no, I'm going to do a more pinkish color for that and make it darker, because you don't really see the inside of your mouth all that often. And then color in her tongue. And there we go, teethy next. Same white as her eyes, of course, so I could color sample from that to make things easier on me. I mean, if I wanted to do it, I could just zoom in really close and color sample that, but then I wouldn't be able to. So I'm going to go ahead and I kind of feel like I went a little low with her hair up here, so I'm going to go in with the base color and just kind of cut up into her face here, just to give it a little that fur effect, but in reverse. Coloring in the spots. There. Gives her a little bit more of a furry face. And you'll notice that I'm kind of swiping in the direction that the fur would go across her face. Upper right for this side as I did, like, or moving to the left for this side as I moved to the right for this one. Because her fur is spreading out from the side, so it looks more natural if you're moving it kind of along the side of her face. Alrighty. Doesn't look good. Control Z. The movement to the right did much. The movement to the right did much better than the movement to the right left. This one isn't really as bad, so I will just do as far as how high it is. So I will go with the overcoat color again and pop in it with that one. It feels like my wrist movements are a little better going to the right as opposed to the left. Although it's a good idea to practice just so you're more versatile and it doesn't mess up your wrists in the long term. But yeah, you can kind of tell from the way I do my lines initially too how where the line of fabric goes. But clearly I need to go and clean up these lines better because I did not do a good job at illustrating. But to be fair, I ran out of time, so I was rushing. Okay, I think I'll go ahead and finish coloring in those bangs. If I wanted to, I could go in and do the select tool, and I can even do the curve tool again and just widen. Oh, nope, bad. And just widen it up to be the width of my bangs here. But they start to get really thinner as they get closer to the end. I don't like doing that too often. Oh, this is pretty cute. That looks much nicer with the color in there. Alright. I'm just going to go ahead with a pen tool and finish coloring into the bottom here because that is a little bit. I'm using a tablet pen and that reacts a little bit more to the width and the pressure. And I see I made a mistake up here, so I'm going to quickly fix that color issue. There. Okay. I still don't like the side of this face. I'm sure it probably looks fine to you guys, but I just want to adjust it just slightly. Maybe what my problem is that I have too wide of a pen. Yeah, that looks better. Looks better already. Just gotta remember which direction to swipe. Okay. A bit more. No, I'm not gonna bother with that anymore. It's fine. If I play with it too much, it'll just look awkward. Oh, right, I forgot to add our little neck sides here, which I will go ahead and just fill in using lines to kind of follow the side of her face. This is another method. It's okay if I go over the lines of the clothes here, because once again, it's just gonna be colored over in a moment. I think before I go into the customs, I'm going to go ahead and katana blade. That is pretty much just going to be gray on gray. Usually a lighter blade underneath, a lighter color on top as opposed to, no, a lighter color on bottom as opposed to top of a sword, because usually the bottom of these blades are made thinner. I don't know, it's just the way I've observed it. But yeah, they're more sharpened, so I don't know. I only like the katana swords are like bent and when being forged, they're bent and framed over and over again. So using the continuous curve to fill, but that's mostly just because I want to kind of go around carefully the color of her. I don't want to have to redo her colors too much. Okay. I think I will really quickly just search up a katana blade again. because I know there's going to be like little tie things on the hilt, just to get some basic ideas about how I want to do this. Yeah, the color isn't really um, consistent from the ones that are showing on, although I'm sure a lot of these are just dress swords or things are in Rakume, because if I understand, like real samurai katana are rare. Maybe something a little bit more like that. Yeah, kind of a coppery color for this part, and kind of gold for the part that's holding the blade in. I'm sorry, I don't really know these the names of these things. I just have an anime dork who admires the work. But yeah, I think I will just go ahead and do a darker black for most of these. I might switch it up later. No, stick with. Yeah, I think I'll do kind of a dark brown for that actually. Which I'm ironically color sampling from red. Secretly a very dark red. Don't tell anyone. Yeah, I'm being lazy and not using the curve tool right now, which I might bite me in the butt later. Okay, once again, I'm not going fully dark black, but a very dark gray. Because you usually want your blacks to be like the darkest shadows. And everything else is kind of like a natural color. Or just to have your line stand out. Oops, oopsie there, the coloring. Okay, so I can see that these katana blades kind of have ties around their hilts. So to simulate that, I'm just going to kind of draw little diamond shapes along the side of there. Because I'm feeling slightly lazy. I think I'll use that same color from the hilt there to give it a little bit of unity. Also make it a little rounded, not like full on. So as I'm putting these down, I'm going to kind of slightly add the curve to that to give it a more fabricy feel. Kind of match it up with the other lines, and put a little curve even as I'm closing up the diamond. Yeah, that looks okay. I think it's safe to deselect, and then to save myself some time, I'm going to go ahead and like hold Alt and drag. Does it go all the way up to the top there? No, not really. I'll stop that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and select both of these shapes, and then Alt drag them down. And I will have to recolor her fingers a little bit for this, but I don't mind. I'm gonna go ahead and select the third one there, and then I'm on the move layer tool while I'm doing this, and holding it down and just matching it up with the other ones there. Okay, when I come in and just recolor over it, it looks like the pattern is continuing underneath her fingers, or in this case, a little tie on the side of the blades. So when you zoom away, it kind of resembles that. Maybe not the best job, but you get the idea. Okay, so I might just go ahead and do a folder. I'll call this the base color, and I might do just so I can't color over by accident. I might do a folder and do a couple of different outfit color. But yeah, I might do a folder and just do a few simple things based off of what this could be, because usually Little Coyote is, like I mentioned before, usually I have her wearing like a little green skirt with a pink top, or a red top with a pink skirt, and I think I will do that for her base, but I honestly don't. But because we have the option to play around, I want to see how things go. So first, I'm just gonna, so I don't have to worry about moving around the ink so much. I'm just gonna color in the basic shape of her skirt here. And then I'll go back to the first outfit layer and just do a quick little fill. I guess it doesn't let me do it very individual. Okay, computer, I see you. Fill it in. I'll go back in with the colors for the little parts, because it is weird like that sometimes. And then I'll go back in for the top part. So really quickly just filling in the pinks here. I forgot to highlight that. That was my bad. The fill tool? Yeah, that's in it. Okay. So I do this and I get the basic white. I think I'll do a little white for the inner layer here. Right. And now the question is, what color do we make the obi and the boots? Now, usually, so I like the green and pink combination because red and green are complementary colors. Well, when I mean that they're complementary colors, the complements on the opposite views of the color wheel. So, in some ways, it would probably be better to make this green a lighter color. Actually, what I think I'm going to do, no, we'll worry about shading later. But I think what I will do is I will just control U and brighten up the luminosity to make it a lighter green. Okay. I usually prefer dark green because dark green is my favorite. But in this case, it makes it all kind of harmonize in the way of the color schemes here. So what would be good for the obi sash is to kind of think of a color that's somewhat between that reddish pink and the green in the color wheel. So what I could do is blue, or I think I will go topaz just to give it a continuous curve for this because I don't have the outlines selected, so I want to do a whole lot of redrawing or erasing color. Keep it within the lines. Okay, so that actually seems a little too much. I don't like that. So I'm going to select it and I'm going to pull that Control U again and just play around with the hues until I see something I like. Yeah, I was thinking purple might be better. I obviously don't want to make it the same color as the top because that doesn't give a lot of visual interest. Yeah, maybe orange would be okay, but I think I'm leaning more towards that purple I saw earlier. Yeah, that seems to harmonize a little better. Do I want to saturate any? Just a touch. Okay, I think that's good. So since I have kind of a lot of cooler colors down here, I think what I will do is I'll go ahead and make the boots black. I'm going to go ahead and select the ink layers again. And then Control I to bring it in. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it the same like dark gray, aka black, that I used for the katana blade. Because if you have too many colors and not a lot of neutrals in the outfit, it can be a little overwhelming to the eye. So when you come in with, so neutral colors are typically your browns, blacks, grays. And I should say that a little coyote on her skin tone is already wearing neutral colors, you know. When I say neutral, they're colors that are typically found in nature and not artificial colors that have been human made. But I know you could find this. The sky is blue, so you could say that's a blue. But you know, we call it more earth tones. You know, your grays, your browns. Sometimes white is a neutral color. I'm sure people would disagree with me. And black is most definitely a neutral color. It goes well with most everything that you can put on. But personally, I think wearing an all black outfit is just sometimes a thing. I like a little bit more color. I'm not sure if I like the black. I'm thinking maybe gray might be better in this case. So I'm going to pull out my color slider again. It just, no, not the hue. I want to see if maybe a gray will be better. So I'm going to increase the luminosity. Yeah, getting more into a whitish gray seems to be better. But you know what? I kind of want it to be brown. Ooh, pink. Okay, let's get more into that reddish tone and bring up the saturation a little. I don't want it to be the same color as her fur, so just bring it down. Yeah, I think the darker brown suits a little better for this. Yeah, it's just awkward because everything is all pastel-y, so I'm not sure if I like it. Feel free to tell me in the comments if you think something else looks better. Right. Yeah, I'll just go dark brown, but lighten it up a little bit. Bring down the saturation. No, bring up the saturation. Yeah, it just looks like her hair, which I guess isn't so bad because it bounces out the top and the bottom, but I'm not sure I like it. Yeah, obviously when I drew this, I wasn't thinking about colors at all. And to bring a little bit more visual interest, I think what I will do next is I will add a pattern on top of this obi shape. It went all the way down, didn't it? I guess that happens sometimes when it's close to the same color. So I will color sample the green for a pattern, and I'm just going to use probably a floral, a clover's pattern. Would that look good? Maybe if I'm a little light-handed, it might. Probably shouldn't put too much on the sash because that's typically not where you see patterns in actual kimono. So bring back. Oh, there we go. Just pop it in some. And it kind of brings in the green from the skirt, so I like that a little better. But now I'm not as big a fan as the OB color again. I think what I will do instead is just change that OB up to a lighter pink, because I think that'll bring out the saturated up a little. But yeah, I think that'll bring out the kind of the pink from the clovers. And then the OBs themselves usually have a little bit of pattern on them too. But I'm not gonna go too crazy with the secondary pattern because I don't want it to be, I don't want it to draw the eye too much. I think I'll color sample some of those color clover again, and then I'll aim for the heart chunk of the second part was butterfly ivy. Yeah, that works nicely. I think it's not too busy. But I think what I will do is I'll have it go across. I don't want to be too separate from each other because I kind of want it to look like a continuous pattern rather than me just coming in with a design tool. Yeah, okay. I think I like it, but I actually want to make this pink color lighter just so it isn't as obvious, or I should say it doesn't stand out as obviously. Like the hair was the kimono pattern usually. Okay, I think that's pretty good for outfit 1, but I want to do something different for outfit 2. I'm thinking I might go more yellowy and daisy themed. Maybe orange? No, let's go with the color of her eyes for this one. So I'm just gonna be lazy and use the selection tool again. And Control I. And yeah, so I think I will select the color of her eyes. Wait, eye color. Bad me. Okay, so I think I will make this one like more blue daisy themed. And then maybe I'll do one more outfit that's like a red, orange, sunflower theme. But let's see how this one comes out. Okay, color. Nope, not erase. Forgot I was using the eraser tool. Color that in. Do white again for the underlayer here. So yeah, I think the blue looks pretty good for as far as the OB goes. Complementary color of blue is yellow in a lot of cases. Yellowy orange. I think I'm gonna try the turquoise again for this. I might regret it. No, I like it. Okay, maybe I should think about the skirt first. Colors are hard, guys. Colors are hard. Yeah, I think what I'm just gonna do is I'm gonna have the skirt be a dark blue. I really should be zooming in here so I can see better what I'm doing. So I don't have to do too much erasing later. I think that blue looks good. In this case, it's the same blue from this, but darker, which is why it kind of harmonizes. That's for the OB slash. I might just make that white, but I haven't decided yet. I think the boots have to be that dark green. This for this one. The selection tool doesn't like that little area there. Probably because I forgot to close it. Silly me. And the thing I forgot to do with the other one is I forgot to include the soles of the feet in there. Or the boots, I mean, not the feet. I think I'm just going to go in with a slightly lighter gray and add soles. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think that goes well. So maybe what I'll do with the sash is I'll go purple. I'm going to get the same color as the skirt, but I'll bring it up with the purple here. Yeah, I think that purple goes well, actually. Maybe too much purple, but it's kind of similar tone to her darker color, so I'm going to sit with it. Maybe lighten it up a little. Something in between the two colors. Yeah, I think it's a little better, a little lighter. But yeah, that's a little more harmonious. Oh, I forgot. I'm not elected anymore. Just using silly words. Because I'm mostly silly. Doing silly things. Maybe I should have included some more of the OB sash underneath there. The wins and lose. I wanted to go in and make a few adjustments anyway. But probably better with the curve tool. We'll quickly just fix this. And that. And then down here, this boot is trouble, which I intend to fix. Okay, that's better. I'm sure there's more little mistakes, but I'm working on colors today, not fixing my mistakes. Okay, so I wanted to do daisies, which I do happen to have a daisy. Now, let's just put these reference pictures away since I'm not actively using them right now. And really quickly I'm going to do kind of a similar tone to the skirt so it doesn't seem too jarring to do with the other outfit. I might add daisies to the skirt even too, but let's just see how they look in the first place. I'm pretty sure I found a daisy brush. Wisteria, blue flowers, lily pad. Here we go, daisy. Boop. Let's just get a look on what that looks like first. Oh, not very good. Connecting the color again, and then some daisies. And the stem's turning black because my secondary color is black. I'm just gonna test that. They're slightly bluish, but it's just the way this particular brush is made. I'm just kind of trying to be a little light-handed with this, but it doesn't make the best pattern, I don't think, for clothes. All right, and I'm gonna go in with the ink tool again. No, that's the brush tool. Hold on, ink tool. Okay, I think that's good. Oh dear, did I? No, it's just the daisy's filling up most of it, which is why it looked like it was empty. Okay, and then for the obi sash, pattern should I do for the inside there? Once again, I'm gonna do a lighter color, but not so light that it shows up. Yeah, I'm not gonna do the front part. Oh yeah, that might work, but I have to make it a smaller brush because I have a huge right now. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, I think because this is already something that brightens a great deal, I'm gonna make the thing even brighter. No, that didn't work. Okay, almost white. Okay. I don't quite like it when the flowers overlap too much, because then it doesn't look like a pattern so much. I'm so picky. Oh, so picky. So picky. Picky. I don't even know what I see tonight. I kind of want to add a little bit of daisies to the bottom of this skirt too, so I think I will do that too. Just because this is my drawing and I can do what I want. So let's just do a little line on the bottom, but maybe not so thick. Okay. That one looks too similar. Come on. Alright, there we go. Yeah, I kind of like the little daisies. And maybe what I will do, instead of just going straight pattern, is I will make the thing bigger. And I'll bring the opacity down slightly so it's not standing out too much. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, over to daisy thing. Didn't turn out as nice as I was thinking. Maybe the purple was the wrong choice. I don't know. Let's just color sample this really quick. Yeah, I think yellow actually looks nicer in this case. Not too yellow. But a little closer to the yellows on the inside of the tab. I think I will do 2 more looks, just because the pattern brushes are kind of making me a little excited. So I'll do sunflowers next, and then I'll do a more gothic look. So I'm just going to really quickly go back to this one. Get these boots. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll That's just what I do. And I don't think I know the rest of the lyrics to this song. Something walking back to you. Yeah, that looks better. But maybe I'll do a brighter color instead. Because sometimes boots have a brighter undercoating, although they'll often just start to get darker the more you walk around. But this is a magically created costume, so it shouldn't show signs of wear and tear yet, at least not until she's attacked. Then they'll be in really weird, sexy places, right? I think that would break apart naturally. Should I add a pattern to the skirt here, too? It seems kind of plain when I'm looking at it. I finished this outfit already. Why am I going back? Mysterio? I don't think I like it. Or at least I'm not getting it to do the thing I want it to do. Darn it, if I don't like purple and green together. Okay, just deselect and give it a look. Okay, I kind of like the wisteria. Let's stay. Right, okay, next outfit. This one, right, I wanted to go more orangey. Kind of like the bouquet here. Whoop. I lost my drawing. Oh no, there it is. Okay, so I'm gonna, once again, select the outside and then Control I to reverse the direction and back to Alpha 3. So, okay, so a little bit more orange for this one. Orange and sunflowers. Probably will end up with a yellow OB again, but we'll see how things go. Maybe he'll skirt? Okay, yeah, that is a very, very bright orange. I'm not sure if I like that. Let's just maybe saturate it down slightly. I think that helps. Adjust the hue. Yeah, I think we made this orange. Erase this little bit that got on her neck. Yeah. Erasing the hair. Which I got with. select these things and cut out the hair pieces, but I don't want to have to reselect everything again every time. I'll only do that after I've gotten close to finishing all the rest of the stuff. So I think for a change, I might do this, keep on forgetting the eraser tool. I might do the inner obi more yellow or pink or orange, slightly yellow in color, just to make it. And maybe I'll use the same color on the skirt. I don't think I want to do that, but I might make the skirt a yellow green. We'll see if I like it. I don't know. Do I have bad taste? Sometimes I wonder. Oh, yeah, seeing that's way too neon. No. Saturate that a little. Okay. Is this better? I'm starting to regret the pleats. They're so hard, guys. So hard to color around. I'm not sure if I like that yet. We'll come back to it. I'll put in the green color here just to see if I like it. And if I don't, we can change it. Yeah, I don't really like it. It's probably because it's a different color tone from the other things. So it's more blue in it than the other colors there. And again, I could like it more when the pattern. Okay, I have most of the main colors cut up, except for the boots. Let's just pop in some tannish colored boots right now. I can change it later. I just want to pop in a color. There we go. Not too much though. Might need to be a little bit more warmer. Maybe it would look good with the. It kind of goes together color-wise. Let's see how I feel after I color after I change in the color of the OB. I'm going to change the saturation. Yeah, it's already a better saturation and changing it. Good with the luminosity? Darker no. I think the saturation works better. Maybe bring it back down. Yeah, a little bit saturated. Or a little bit lighter. I think that's decent, knowing that I'm going to go in and add sunflowers. Still might change the color of the skirt. We'll see. But usually if I were adding patterns, I would just go ahead and do another layer. But since I already have a layer for my dresses on top of that, just for this purpose, these sunflowers don't have an auto color. They're just automatically whatever color you have. So I'm going to go in and I'm familiar with as far as sunflower color. Oh no, that one. So make that a little bit more of an orangey color. And then this should be darker, so it's a little bit more of a reddish brown. Yeah, like that. Yeah, that's better. I mean, I might want to go in and kind of like lightly color the inside of the sunflower. The pattern doesn't do that automatically, but I do think I like this sunflower look. Yeah, I think I want to change the skirt color. Maybe it can be the color of the sunflowers I'm using here. Add a little bit smaller ones, even though it's not really. How am I going to handle this? Drag, pull. Nope, those are too big. Okay. I guess that's better. Try to capture a pattern look that somebody could have put together rather than random colors. I think that big one, but maybe another big one in the center here would be good. That's not big. Big. Now it's big, but it's all wrong. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right. Yeah. Okay, so really quick, to adjust the skirt color to be the same color as the sunflowers. Yeah, that's better already. Probably should have some green in it. Or maybe the skirt should have a green pattern. Or not the OB, the blouse. Okay, flip into the inks. Select all the important parts. Don't need to inverse it here. Okay, go back here. Now this one I'm going to do a more subtle interior. I was doing the other stuff. Right border? Yeah, there it goes. Okay. So I'm going to do a darker version. Saturate on top of this. Oh, I kind of like it. Would I like the ivy better though? Kind of. Having the pattern on the shirt be more subtle as opposed to the OB. Oh, busy on the eyes. So lastly, we've discovered we like adding patterns to this to the kind of what would go well with. Ooh, wait, this? Oh yeah, oh yeah. My my marigolds. Yeah, I like that. We got the orange from the shirt onto the skirt. Yeah, I would never attempt to animate this with patterns unless I did something like the Amazing World of Chowder. No, just Chowder, not the Amazing World of Chowder. Hey, we have about 30 minutes left, so I think I'm gonna keep the boots the way they are. Let's see if I like that. What kind of color is it? I wanted to use for the inside of the sunflower. Yeah, that's good. Okay. I might keep the undersides of the boots as they are. I'm just gonna use a soft spray brush to spray in the colors of the inside of the sunflowers because it's driving me crazy about how it's not brown, but everything else is brown. So why is it? And that makes it look a little bit more like sunflowers too, and brings the color of the boots in. You'll see what I mean when I zoom out again. But I'm gonna do a lighter color here for the centers. If you've seen sunflowers recently, you'll know. I should have done this one initially, but I forgot. Okay, so that's not coloring up the line work too badly, so it doesn't bother me so much. Zooming out again. Yeah, fine. Yeah. I mean, kind of looks horrible, but it still looks good, I think. In a horrible way. I don't know. You guys might think different. Change the luminosities, maybe. The brightness. Yeah, I think it's better for being green. But does that take away from the green in the thing? From the green in this. The lighter color green. I'll just go ahead and color that. Yeah, I think that's a better green. I see you, mistake. I see it. There's another one over here. Okay, okay. The green still stands out. I don't like this outfit as much because it makes you focus too much on the outfit and not the character. I'll finish making out the ones that making my final outfit, and then I'll give my thoughts on this after I finish it. Okay, so this one I kind of wanted to give a gothy look to, more reds and blacks. Blacks using quotation fingers. Oh, I haven't been. I wasn't on the ink layer. Ack. Ack. Did I just deselect everything? No, I just haven't selected outside yet. Everything's selected properly? Good. Inverse. I was thinking of a more red and black kind of thing. I am tired of use my pen tool and color in with the hair. Aha, that'll show you. Killer. I still end up having to use the eraser tool to get some of the ink that I drew in there. But you know, if you always do the exact same thing, it does not help your mind's development. It's better to do a bunch of different things, or do things slightly different ways. Huh, my voice is so grumbly today. I must lighten it up. I wonder if it can even be heard at this tone. It's hard to say. Okay. Okay. So that. But yeah, coloring in the little details and then coming in with a major fill like that is another trick I do sometimes. Head and do a red ochre to be red too, or maybe more of a maroon. Let's see how it looks after I make that. Fun playing with all these different colors and stuff, honestly. And I'll do white under here again. Because, you know, white's a symbol. If you want me to now. Color white. Yeah. I'll do a slightly darker skirt. Let's see how this looks. I'm not going to even bother going around the hand. I'm just going to remove that later. Yeah, Yeah, I think that's slightly the redder skirt looks good. And then I'll just go ahead and make the boots black. So, so when you're doing a fill like that, you want to be careful because sometimes there's like a little line that can only be seen digital level. It looks like in this case it's fine. I'm just going to do it on the safe side. All right, black boots. Gonna give them a slightly light. The soles of the boots. I'm gonna deselect, inks, select, go back into thing, delete, and there. I don't have to carefully erase all the red out of that skirt. So yeah, they're looking at a pretty cute outfit so far. Definitely has the more warrior woman vibes, I think. Or this one, I got the idea to do this because I spotted a fun pattern that I wanted to use. The chip-based dolls. Oh, they're all black. I actually want them to be more red, but maybe I'll do slight or more white, but maybe I'll do slightly red. But yeah, isn't that cute? Slightly different sizes to give it a little bit more visual interest. Right, why can't it be the other way? I don't like that other way now. Nope. Okay, that's good. All right. Okay, I have to bring a little bit more lighter color to balance this, I think. More white. I think what I will do is I will take the robe part. Oh, I finally, it only took me most of the stream for me to remember it was called a robe, or it could be used as the word robe. And I will do things, but turn this one to a lighter gray. Maybe from the top? No, bottom down is good. Yeah, so that doesn't make the, no, I don't think it makes the skirt stand out, so I should probably make the sash part a little less like same color. I liked it the way it was originally. It's fine. And I'll probably do a very light colored red something to bring out the white a little bit more. Like a very red. Would moons look good? No, I don't want to do moons. Oh, I guess it'll always be melody. No, too easy. Oh, but it does kind of look good. I just have it be down here. I mean, you have to admit that red and cherry blossoms look kind of good, although it kind of takes away from the punk edge. Yeah, it doesn't look as good with the skulls if you do the just a ruled pattern, maybe. Like the, no, that doesn't. The, plus, it looks like it's adding. Oh wait. That's gonna be black no matter what, so that's no good. Spiders! No, let's do spider web. A little smaller, maybe. It doesn't really give the illusion that the webs are kind of going around that the fabric kind of exists around the webs, though, so that's the downside. Cheat the system a little by erasing part of the web, so it looks like it's more so following the pattern, and then jumping back in with the color. No, it looked better. Oh, no, redo. So it looks like it's following the rules, and then I'll use the ink tool to give it, yeah, so not just, so it exists around the directions of the pattern, but it doesn't, I'm not sure what I'm kind of trying to say there, but I just want it to look like it's following a pattern underneath the skirt, rather than just straight out putting a pattern over top of stuff. And then I will add in the spiders. Just a couple of little spiders. Doot, doot, doot. So, wish the spiders didn't all just automatically go down the same direction. I think what I'll do is I will take them and transform them off to the side and then add them to my skirt. I'm using Control T in this case. 1, 2, 3 of them. adjusting them slightly because they look a little bit more realistic if they're not just headed face down. Last one, I'll turn facing inward. No, outward. We'll put it on the side. Okay, okay, so what I was going to do is I'm going to the gem facet to this to give it some visual interest. I mean, the gradient is nice on its own, but I just want a little. Oh, maybe some lighting. Oh, maybe it's white. No, that's not what I wanted. Okay, facet over. Yeah, my effects thing. A little bigger. Not too much. Yeah, I think I do. Okay. I think the last thing what I'll do is just the skulls are really standing out too much, I think. Is I'm going to, even though they're cute, I'm going to darken their luminosity a little, make them stand out a little less. Saturation can go up slightly so they don't try to go gray, but that way they'll blend a little bit more into the pattern, and not into the spider webs and stuff, and not stand out in comparison to the rest of the outfit. Alright, that looks better? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that one's done. Okay, I have 10 minutes left, so I'm going to talk really quickly about each of these outfits. So, outfit number one, I guess is pretty cute. It's hard to bring out the character because she's already so many neutral colors. I think the busyness of the pattern in a lot of cases kind of just draws your attention to the outfit. So I don't really know if that's something that we could really help in this case. I mean, maybe if I went in with the inks and brought down the ink layer, and go back to the outfit layer. Control U, just made it a little brighter so it wasn't standing out as much. Maybe slightly greener, like the colors of the clovers. Alright, I don't know, is that better? I'm gonna leave it as this. But yeah, the problem with this outfit is the outfit is definitely what draws your eye to the character, not so much the character itself. But I think that this one is pretty cute. I like the way the Opie came out, and I feel like it was a good idea to go in and add the wisteria at the end. It might still be a little bit too much because we had more of a clover kind of theme for this, but I don't know. I like it. Okay, and we have for outfit number two. The Daisy theme is cute. I like daisies, so kind of enjoyed it. And I think this is good because the color of the Obi being the same color as her eyes draws your attention to the eyes a little more. I'm not sure if yellow is the best color for Elsie's particular coloring. So in that way, I wouldn't really like the Obi looks good with the outfit itself, but I'm not sure if it looks good on her. But maybe you guys have different opinions on that. Okay. This one, I mean, I said it was a little bright and loud, and it is still with those colors, but I still enjoy looking at it. And since it's kind of like a similar warm tones to Elsie's body, it doesn't make me stand out as much. The problem with wearing these warmer colors is when you look up at her eyes, they seem to kind of stand out in a negative way. So maybe they're not the best colors for a little coyote, but you might have a different opinion. Lastly, the little gothy outfit, which I thought I made just for fun, and came up spur of the moment. But I think it's pretty cute. Maybe I would have put another spider kind of lower on the thing so they stand out a little bit more. I'll add a spider here, Kelsey. You can still add spiders. So off to the side again. It's the size of the smaller web, so it doesn't look like it stands out too much. Yeah, I think that looks better. Maybe one more spider over here would be good, but I kind of want this to feel like the same kind of. I kind of want this one under the hand to kind of feel like the same web, so there probably wouldn't be two spiders in the same web. Not usually, but I think that helps a little. Maybe one more spider on the very end here would be good. Have that one be just 100% upside down and then flattened a little. Yeah, I think that helps. Erase those legs. Yeah, okay. So that I think help with a web dress. Maybe I'm thinking about it too much. But yeah, that's pretty much all the outfits. Another quick run through of more your pinks and greens, your daisy blues and yellows, your yellow sunflower dress, and your gothy dress. So I'm gonna put up a couple of polls and see what you guys like best. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed your sitting and watching here if you didn't watch this. And next week I'm going to talk about shading, I think. I will put up a poll which outfit you like the best and choose that outfit to shade. So I think that's it for now. We're a couple of minutes early, but last week we went a little late, so I think that'll be okay for this time. That's it for now. Have a light, awkward day.